What's up, guys? How are we doing? Welcome back to Billy Forks. Right, the Explorer has gone in for its 30,000 miles service. It's a big one. They're going to check the cam chain because that's making like a rattling noise when I start it up, which is apparently quite a common thing for the Explorer. One of the fork seals is leaking, so they're going to replace both of those. And he phoned me up today saying the front tyre is nearly at its limit. So I said, replace them both. So they're going to put some Anarchies on there for me. I never had them before, but he assured me that they're a good, solid road tyre. So that's getting done. So I went down to Triumph. There's a new Triumph store where the old Metropolis used to be. Opposite the MI5 building by Vauxhall Bridge and Vauxhall train station. So I went down there the other day because before, when I used to get my servicing done, I used to go to Ashford, Laguna, or Maidstone. So that's about another, I don't know, 40 odd miles in the opposite direction of the way I travel into work. So this new place is actually on the way into work. I go past it, or at least I can do if the need arises. So I went in there, beautiful shop they've got there, all the latest models. All the walls are black and it's got bare brick. It looks the business. And yeah, so whilst my bike is in there getting its service done, they very kindly lent me this beautiful bike. I can't remember if I had one. I think I had the Scrambler before. I'm not too sure. As a loan bike, and it is beautiful. And I'm going to show it to you now. It's the Triumph Bonneville T100, 900cc, but I'm just going to show it to you. Who's a handsome devil then? Look at this beauty. I tell you, man, Triumph are just knocking it out the park with these, because they've got that heritage, they're just milking it. They're milking it. And you know what? It's paying off. They're bringing out some beautiful bikes. So here it is. I'm just going to give you a little walk around. Like I said, the Triumph Bonneville T100, lovely gloss black, looks excellent in black, really does look nice, especially with the black engine there and the coolant fins in the silver trim, with some really nice touches on this bike. So for example, the little Triumph logo in the headlight and the Triumph on the mudguard bracket there. Just some really nice little touches. Also again, on the clocks on the dash here, they've got this beautiful sort of brushed aluminium I should say, little base plate, and again the logo there. Bring it down to the bars, another little logo, just to remind you what you're riding. It's very handsome. It's a very handsome bike. Lovely little fuel cap there. Again, Triumph motorcycles. It took me a while to figure out how to actually, there you go. So I was going like this with it for ages. Like pressing it down, thinking that was doing, but no, it's just a little switcheroo there. So yeah, so let's bring it down to the engine. Actually, let's go on this side, it's a bit more light. Oh, mind the padlock. Here it is, Triumph Bonneville 900. Again, nice little touches. Little grille there by the chain guard. Just all little things like this. Just really brings the whole thing together. I love these chrome plated exhaust brackets that they've put on there. You see some bikes are just like raw steel. It just looks a bit off. But that's a really nice touch. That's a nice attention to detail, that is, I think. And you follow the exhaust down, lovely chrome downpipes into this really, really classic looking exhaust. I think that's called a pea shooter exhaust. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but as far as I'm aware, that's what it's called. But yeah, nice little touch there. The difference in the metals that they've used is a nice contrast. Let's go round. Single brake disc on the front. Down here as well, they've put a nice brass plate on here with their Triumph logo in it. Lovely, I love that. Again, the chrome bracket, much the same on the other side with the twin pipes coming out. This is a twin, by the way, not a triple. I'm sure you knew that already. Another nice little touch is this little bit of white piping on the seat there. Really nice little strap. And another nice little logo just on the back seat there. Can you see that? Just embossed in. Look at that. Handsome, very, very handsome. All classic good looks. Twin shocks on the back. Again, a nice little nod to the old school bikes there. The foot pegs with the logos in. So yeah, that's the look of the bike. Let's have a look at those clocks again. Let's turn this on for you. It's freezing tonight. It's like 4 degrees or something. But then again, it's winter, so what do you expect? There you go. So let's just see what we've got through when we press the info button. So you've got the gear indicator, the time, traction control on, odometer. It's only got 153 miles on the clock, so it's a brand new bike. It's a 2020 model, I believe. You've got trips 1, trips 2, miles per gallon. I'm not sure what that's given us yet. Obviously, you've got to be moving for that. Last one, 54 miles to the gallon. The time again. And on this side, you have range until basically your fuel gauge and neutral light. I think that's it on that side. So yeah, that's it. So that's what it looks like. There's the badge. There's the nice classy knee pads. Very sort of, what's the word? Understated. And these classic fork guards there. So there it is from afar. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So that's a look at the bike, how it looks. All the fine little details. Oh, there's the spoked wheels as well. Really nice spoked wheels. I had a job actually getting this chain. I just about fit it through. This is a massive chain, so I did well getting that through there. The only sort of downside to a lot of these sort of things is these little logos here. They're all, I don't know, it's like obviously a sticker, because you can see the kind of border around it. If it was kind of, I don't know, somehow painted on, or a special paintwork, or it's kind of some, I don't know, some sort of transfer that they could put on there that was actually part of the paintwork, it looked nice. And also I don't really like that font they've used there, the T100 font. It looks a bit cheap. Other than that, it certainly doesn't take away the look of the bike. It's a stunner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on it and I'm going to start it up for you so you can have a nice listen, and I'm going to tell you what it's like to ride it. Let's do it. I'll tell you, the one difference between this and the Explorer is, with the Explorer I have to get on it like it's a horse, like put one foot in the stirrup and get the other leg over. With this, because it's so low, you can just get on, you know, like a normal way, which is another thing. If you're short of leg and you're thinking about getting this bike, I wouldn't worry at all. I wouldn't worry at all. Even if you're like 5'6", 5'5", I can't see you having any issues on this at all. So let's get on it. All right. The first thing that certainly I noticed was just how light it feels, how flicky it is. And of course, its lightness affects its handling. And I've got to tell you, when I rode back from the dealership, when I picked this bike up, it caught me out a few times when I was going into the bend, because it's so eager to turn. The slightest movement of the bars or the slightest lean, and it will go where it wants to go. I mean, it will go where you want to point it, obviously. And its handling is beautiful. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just different to what I'm used to. And after half an hour, I got used to its kind of little foibles and how it handled and stuff. But it's a beautiful handling bike. It's very eager to turn. So, like I said, it caught me out a few times where I got a bit close to the curb and I had to kind of like correct myself as I was turning. But after a while, like I said, you get used to it. In terms of its ergonomics, the bars are just a little bit further than shoulder width apart. Lovely neutral position, no weight on the hands whatsoever. Everything's easy, accessible. There's no extremes on here. There's no loads of buttons or anything like that. Everything's within reach. Everything is self-explanatory. Really nice. So with the knees up, like I said, I've got a 34-inch inside leg, and my knee is below the bar. It's actually hitting on that pad where it's supposed to hit. So that's it's a very broad spectrum of rider height that this bike can accommodate for, I think. Because I'm definitely at the sort of taller end, but still it fits me fine. It's absolutely 100% comfortable, got no issues with it. And again, the seat, lovely and wide, perfect. The only difference that I noticed compared to the Explorer, and it's not this bike's fault at all, is the lack of wind protection. When I was going down the A2, which is a stretch of road that goes from sort of London all the way into Kent, doing 60 miles an hour for about an hour in weather that's barely above freezing, you really begin to feel it on the bike like this. I don't care what you're wearing, you're going to get cold eventually. So obviously with the Explorer, I've got the handlebar guards here and the heated grips and the windshield and the sort of the larger tank here which protects my leg area. With this you don't have that, but come summertime it won't matter anyway. But you can handle it for an hour or so in the cold, depending on what you're wearing, obviously. But yeah, that's no fault of this bike. I'm just comparing it to what I'm used to. One of the things I didn't particularly like were the mirrors. I found them to be, although lovely and adjustable, you can adjust the mirrors themselves and the stems as well, they just don't give you a lot of information. It seems to be it's either a lot of arm or sort of too much that way, and when you do get it right, you don't. It's too narrow a view. You don't see all the cars coming up in your sort of peripheral vision, sort of thing. So yeah, the mirrors are probably replaced with more sort of rectangular ones, I think. But other than that, I can't really fault it. Really nice bike, lovely fueling, like I said. Pulls away nice and smoothly, nice light clutch, really light clutch actually. And one of the things I like about this bike is the throttle, the spring in it is slightly tighter than my bike. I find my bike throttle even now to be a bit too light and loose. This one's a bit more old fashioned, it's got a bit more meat on it, which I really like. So yeah, like I said, no rider modes, nothing like that. There's no hill start, bloody rain mode, winter mode, sport mode, what you get on modern bikes, which is no bad thing. It's a good thing actually, but with this, you stick the key in, you go. You don't get to choose a mode, it is the mode. So there you go. Oh actually, let me just, I'm going to open up the garage door and then I'm going to start it up for you. I'm going to take it out tomorrow back to the dealership. So I'll have the GoPro on, you'll be able to hear it moving about. So hold on a sec. Whoops, keep tripping over that bloody chain. It's not too late, so I'm going to start it up, give it a couple of revs, and you can have a listen for yourself. Is that recording still? Yeah. Oh, oh. Again, like every other Triumph, pull the clutch in. Woo! Beautiful. How nice is that? Woo! Let's get you over. beautiful, isn't it? That is a lovely sounding motorcycle. God blimey. All right, so hopefully that's covered everything you want to know from the limited time that I've had it. I've only had it for 2 days. But yeah, just to go over it, the bullet points. Really light handling, very eager to turn, very easy to handle. Nice low seat height. If you're low in height, you have no worries with this bike at all. Probably an ideal city bike, I would say. Lovely for filtering as well. I was going through traffic on this bike like I wouldn't dream of doing on the Explorer, because I know if I go through on the Explorer on certain gaps, I'm going to be taking out wing mirrors. On this, whoop, 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 straight through. Like I said, it inspires confidence. But you know, you can't have it all. It's a different matter. When I'm out on the motorway and I'm doing 70 miles an hour for a couple of hours, I'm in a little bubble and it's cozy and I've got heated grips. With this, not so much. But yeah, it's a beautiful bike. So if you've got any questions that I could possibly answer, like I say, from the limited time I've been using it, fire away. I will try and answer them as best I can. If you go to my Instagram page, I've got some more close-up shots of it, some of the nice little details. I'll be out on the bike tomorrow with the GoPro, taking it back to the dealership to pick up the Explorer, which I'm very happy about, very excited about getting my bike back. I will miss this bike. It is a beautiful, beautiful machine. So yeah, sometimes less is more, you know, when it comes to certain things. Not with everything, but I think with bikes, some bikes, less, not more, but it's different. And sometimes different is good. All right, I'm going to shut up now. Okay, so I got a question through on my Twitter account. Some guy asking me, Billy, what do you wear? What's your standard sort of ride to work clothes or riding out wherever clothes? Gloves, underlayers, helmet, jacket, blah, blah, blah. What brands are they? All that sort of stuff. So I will do that video next for you guys and that guy. And yeah, I'll see you all really soon. All right, take it easy, guys. See you later on. Adios. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, look at that